Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe. Each video I'm sharing about questions that were asked during private sessions or group sessions that I feel are valid for public in general to know, and so my aim is to give you tips that will help you to find easier explanations and tools to learn the language and use these terms in your daily life. And so, without further ado, let's talk about adjectives. So today I want to talk about placement of adjectives. So for many, especially for many English speakers, it sounds very exotic that in Portuguese you can either place adjectives before or after the noun, and it seems there is not much order, and maybe you are right, but today I will share some tips that might help you to distinguish when to use before and when to use after the noun. Let's start with one quality, with one part of this explanation, which I will call it intrinsic quality. So first, let's use the adjective bom. And let's say o João é bom menino. So in this case, we are using the adjective before the noun because we are considering as an intrinsic quality. By intrinsic quality, I mean we perceive that João is a good boy because of his whole moral and ethics, not just because some moments that might happen that led you believe that he's just in a temporary state of goodness, but because we look and we believe it's an intrinsic quality that João is a good boy. So o João é bom menino. So whenever you are using the adjective before the noun, it emphasizes the adjective itself and it gives it a subjective value. And so now I talk about the second part, which is after the noun. So having the adjective after the noun will be linked to momentaneous, passing by, short time experiences. So let's take the same example in which I said o João é bom rapaz in the beginning, before the adjective. He is a good boy because this is a moral quality of his whole being. And now I put it after the adjective and I say o João é rapaz bom. So John is a boy good. And so now I'm putting the emphasis that he is good in a short, limited experience. It's linked to a specific moment that has happened that leads me to make this evaluation right now. So after the noun, placing the adjective after the noun is the most common form, which we can call the regular form. And with these cases of after the noun, we are placing less emphasis in the adjective, making it more like an objective value. And now I'm going to use another example, which I find very interesting, because, for example, is saying eu tenho amigo novo. So after the noun, more objective, it will mean I have a young friend. Eu tenho amigo novo. So after objective, so it's literally young, because we know that novo in Portuguese either mean new or young. But let's say after, it's more objective, which is young, talking about the person. The person is young. And versus saying eu tenho novo amigo. So I place now novo before the noun amigo to say I have a new friend, which takes us to a more subjective concept of a new friendship. So I find these two ways of distinguishing very helpful, and this is one example in which the word can take double meaning. And so if you look at new before the noun, amigo, it will take more the value of subjective, a new friend, versus after, which will take more objective aspect of the word, which is he's literally young. I know this might be a bit confusing for especially if you are not a native speaker, but I really hope this can give you some highlights, or at least giving you a try. It's a bit like how we talk when we talk about ser and estar, which we still find some exceptions and things that maybe for Portuguese people they make a lot of sense, but for you they be like, oh, this makes no sense. But I feel like creating basis of understanding can really help you. And so having in mind that before the noun, it will be always more an intrinsic quality, and so it takes more subjective value, versus after the noun, which will be more a temporary characterization of the moment, which takes more of a objective, straightforward. So for grande, if I say before the adjective, uma grande mulher, this is more a figurative aspect, so I'm saying a person who has a big personality, a big impact. If I say grande after the noun, and I say uma mulher grande, then I'm meaning grande in terms of space, being with, like the person, how much physically the person takes of space. This is what we use many times in Portuguese culture to avoid the word gordo or gorda. So we would say uma mulher grande, it's like a big woman. So notice this difference. When it's before the adjective is uma grande mulher, it's figurative, it's big in terms of personality, and when it's after, it's more objective, so it's literally big physically. Then let's look at the word triste. So if I say before the noun, if I use the adjective before the noun, I say uma triste figura, means a person that looks regretful, who appears sorrow. We say also uma triste figura as a person who is like a little bit like bad or sometimes pathetic. So it's a more figurative way as well, as if we use after the noun the word triste, it means literally sad. Figura triste, the figure is sad, literally sad. So they still follow the same aspect of figurative and objective, so you can still apply the same rule, but take care, these three words, they are the ones who have major differences, and so using them incorrectly might cause you to express something differently than what you want to express. And so the words that I'm sharing with you, calling your attention, is novo, grande, triste. So this is all for today. I hope it helps. And if you have any questions, or if you would like to leave your comment, you're very welcome. I would love to hear what are you learning and how is your journey going. I'm also open for classes, and yeah, I hope to see you soon. Adeus, até já!